Hello everyone, thanks again for joining me for another ball review. This one is for the Storm Supersonic. I'm debuting a new test layout which will likely be what I use going forward. It's 45 by 5 by 70, which puts the pin under my bridge. I've discovered a big benefit for me in the more controlled and rounder shape that pin down layouts give me. So for the technical stuff, it's the same centripetal HD core from the Sonic, super low 247 RG, 047 differential, and for me this is still the heaviest rolling core that either Storm or Roto makes. I know it's symmetric, I know the math doesn't work out, but man, this thing wants to dig in so hard and slow down so fast, it's just incredibly chuggy and rolly. For the cover, big difference. It's NRG hybrid, which on this one is 2 parts pearl, 1 part solid, quite a bit different and stronger than R2S in any form, so it's not just a hybrid Sonic, it's definitely amped up. For starters, it definitely feels like a Sonic. The core is the most dominant factor in both Sonic reactions for me, so despite the huge difference in cover, they feel very familiar to one another. Here's where it gets weird though. Both are early and smooth. The original is the longer and stronger of the two, of course. The Super will obviously handle more oil, but they play very similar lines. The original needs room to get down the lane because of how strong the core is, and the Super also needs room due to the core, of course, and the stronger sanded finish. But because it's quite a bit smoother at the end of the pattern, the end result is that both of these will play virtually on top of each other. Also, call me crazy, but I was getting serious Crux Prime vibes from the Super too. I hadn't intended on comparing the Prime to this ball, but after a handful of shots, it was obvious, especially because I wasn't getting the expected reaction. I knew it was going to be early, I knew it was going to be smooth, but not quite to this extent, so I was having some trouble with my angles. Once I realized the Prime similarities, I started treating it like the Prime, and it came to life. After moving in, I ended up moving a board or two back to the right. I just set it down nice and easy and let it work. Instead of being lazy or over-under like it was looking like initially, I got really comfortable with it. The Super doesn't blend the wet-dry quite as well as the Prime does, and that creates an interesting situation for me because it's really early and smooth for how crisp it still is on friction, which caused me some problems. Looking at the Phase 2, they kind of do the same things in different ways, if that makes any sense. Phase 2 is much more even and not as tank-like, definitely not as early. The Super digs in and rolls quite a bit more heavily and is a bit cleaner on friction, the end result for both of them being strength and control. Now moving on to Gage, I had a lot of trouble getting lined up. It seemed like I could either go high or ring a 10 for the longest time. Straight up 10 isn't exactly my wheelhouse, and obviously that wasn't a possibility anyway, it was the intent. But I might have had even more trouble with the Super from straighter angles here than I did with the urethane balls, and that's a problem. Now once I pulled everything in just a little bit and gave it a little bit of room and got softer with it just fine once again. It's not your typical long and strong resin look, it's not an idle pearl by any stretch. For me, I just can't see a place for this in my bag. There's similarity to the physics because of the cover, but the physics actually is a bit longer and stronger, which helps me with the angles. There's Crux Prime vibes, but the Prime covers that look and shape and does it better than the Super. There's Sonic vibes, but the Super is even earlier, and the look from the Phase 2 is just more versatile and easier for me to adjust with. I had similar issues with the original. The insane strength of this core just creates angle issues for me. I love it mentally and theoretically, but I have yet to get comfortable with it or figure out how to make it work more consistently for me. As far as everyone else is concerned, if you have a Sonic and like the Sonic, you're going to love the Super. The core is the most dominant feature, and it creates a lot of familiarity. If you didn't like the Sonic, I don't really see this being a different story. Now, if you like the Crux Prime or the physics, I'd still take a look. It's got the heavy and slow roll of the Prime with the friction response of the physics. Unfortunately, it just doesn't fit for me. I don't think I've ever wanted to like a ball that doesn't react well for me as much as I want to like the Sonic and now the Supersonic. Visually, I love the roll, I just can't get it dialed in. I'll definitely work more with it, and we'll see where we stand in 2 months. I also do have another new Sonic that doesn't have holes in it yet, so maybe I'll try a different layout. But the final verdict is that Sonic fans will love, love, love the Super. Straighter and lower rev players are going to see strength that they don't typically see with this ball, but higher rev players are going to need oil and or a lot of speed for this ball to be viable for them. This isn't a case of a bad ball, it's just a case of a mediocre matchup for me. Thanks for watching.